Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Shout Studios Labyrinth 4K set, specifically this Steelbook that I hold. We're going to talk about the special features for this thing. We're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the Blu-ray, and you can draw your own conclusion on which you think is better. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Act of Violence channel. My name is Alec. Today we're talking about the Labyrinth. We're talking about this new Steelbook from Shout Studios, and we're going to compare it to the old Blu-ray. So first up, let's just talk a little bit about this Steelbook design. First of all, the artwork. I honestly can't decide if I love it or hate it. If we're looking at the artwork, I mean, hardly any of these creatures look like they're actually from the Labyrinth. I don't recall this baby wearing this headband. However, on the back you do get the door knocker, so that's pretty cool. On the inside, nothing too crazy there, but it's pretty cool looking, I guess. I will say this does not include a digital copy. And it came with this card, which we're going to somehow have to fold up and put on the inside to actually know what the special features are before putting the disc in. But special features. On the 4K disc, there is a new fan event Q&A with Brian Henson and Toby Froud, a new contact juggling tutorial, and an audio commentary with conceptual designer Brian Froud. Now, I believe some of these are special features that are rolled over from this Blu-ray, so that commentary, for example. The Storytellers, picture-in-picture track featuring interviews with Cheryl Henson, puppeteer, Kevin Clash, Henson Puppet Makers, Warwick Davis, makeup artist. That's on the new one as well. These special features also include Reordering Time, looking back at Labyrinth, The Henson Legacy, Remembering the Goblin King, Anniversary Q&A, Inside the Labyrinth Making of documentary, Journey Through the Labyrinth, Kingdom of Characters, Journey Through the Labyrinth, The Quest for the Goblin City, deleted and alternate scenes, including audio commentary with Brian Henson, theatrical trailers. So as far as this Blu-ray goes, the all-new Blu-ray exclusive was The Storytellers, but that's on here. Plus original special features, commentary with Brian Froud, making of documentary Inside the Labyrinth, and I believe, yeah, that's on here as well. And Journey Through the Labyrinth, Kingdom of Characters, and The Quest for Goblin City. Again, both those are on the new one as well. So without further ado, let's pop these in and take a look. Alright, so let's take a look at these things. Right here I have both the Blu-ray on the left and the 4K Ultra HD on the right. Alright, so behind these cats, the first thing you're going to notice here is the menus. So that's what I've got pulled up. Nothing too crazy, right? The left is, I believe, and they both show various clips from the movies. So here we have our first actual comparison of what these shots are looking like. And at this point, they both look pretty good, right? I think in this framing, I do think the 4K is a little bit better. The sharpness, maybe, maybe not. But let's keep going, all right? So the skin tone, right? This is going to be something that is kind of reoccurring theme through this video, is that the 4K is very, very blue. This 4K went through the Twilight filter, you know what I'm saying? Twilight 1. But, you know, on a shot like this, sure they look different. Which do I prefer? This is almost inconsequential, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't enough for me to say one is better than the other. The shot of the sky, you know, which looks more natural, which looks like the film is intended to look. That's what you got to consider when you're looking at these things. And again, I'm not going to tell you, I'll tell you my opinion, but I'm not going to say that I'm right necessarily or anything. Again, I think the 4K looks better on these shots. I like cooler tones more, I will admit that, but as we're going through here, okay. Again, you see what I mean? Everything's a little more blue over there. It's going to become more apparent. Like, I don't know how much they turn up the blue in some of these scenes. It's pretty crazy. But, like, look, just this, even alone. Look at that water tone. To me, so far, the left looks more natural. It genuinely looks like I put it through a Twilight filter. And I will say, you know, different TVs, all that shenanigans, different settings, yada yada. And as we're looking at this, I mean, I think both look good. But the left looks more natural for sure. You can actually see, it just feels like there's more dynamic range. But hey, let's keep going. I got like 6 minutes of footage here I want to compare, so I just kind of went through and gathered some scenes. So again, it's getting even bluer. That does not look like a person's skin tone at all on the right, versus on the left, that looks very natural. And some of these are in movement when I'm freezing them, so they're not showing how sharp they are and stuff, but the graininess of the 4K is going to come into play later too. But look at that. Look at how much bluer that is. That's crazy, dude. You'd think the Blu-ray would be the one that's blue, right? But either way, it's almost even hard to tell what you're looking at because it's so blue. Over here, you're like, oh, those are human hands. Over here, you're just like, it's blue. Again, look at this. White carpet. It's the white and gold dress shit all over again. The shadow of Jareth. Okay, so like, the curtains look green on the left. They completely lose all green on the right. I'm not saying it looks like trash or anything. It's just way more heavily stylized, and I don't understand exactly why. Like on shots like this, it doesn't seem as jarring. I mean, it's obviously more blue, but this is a movie I watched a million times. Watching it growing up, it was on VHS or on TV. You know, then I had the DVD, which if I had the DVD, I'd also take a scan of that and show it. I don't have the DVD or VHS anymore, but these are the two I had, so that's what we're comparing, and alrighty, man. Blue as fuck. It's blue ba da bo dee ba doo da boo da boo dee ba ba blue boo da boo dee ba doo da. It's also a lot grainier. I don't know if you can quite tell on some of these shots. I'll try to point them out on the ones I think that are really obvious. So, like, I don't know. I do like how it looks on the right, but when I look at the left, I'm like, shit. I feel like I'm just missing stuff on there. That's wild. I'm just staring at it, and I'm not a 4K hater or anything, you know. I went into this wanting it to look better. Not that I remembered that the Blu-ray looked bad or anything. I was just like, you know, yeah, I want the Labyrinth to look great. And as I'm going through this, I'm like, is 4K a scam? I mean, I'm just kidding, obviously, but shit. It seems now more than ever that stuff getting messed with in a weird way is very prominent. And, you know, correct me if this is how the movie's supposed to look, you know, if it's supposed to be all blue and shit, but I don't know. What's going on there? So yeah, let's keep going. This is where it's a lot less noticeable. Look at that. That's pretty comparable, isn't it? I still think, like, look, just the blue in the sky is actually still there here. It looks a little more washed out on the 4K. I don't think these are distinguishable enough for me to say. I mean, obviously you could tell there's subtle differences, but like, it's nowhere near as jarring as some of it. And the blue filter isn't just thrown over this. What if we're taking a look through this? I mean, you can see it's definitely, the 4K is way cooler, we can say that, in reference to the colors, obviously. So you have the scene of Bowie singing again, Dance Magic Dance, you know. The colors aren't far off enough with this that I would have a problem with either of them. They both look fine. I mean, if anything, I do like the colors on the 4K better on these sort of scenes where they're not putting the blue on it. Because you see what I mean? His pants look green on the Blu-ray, they look gray on the 4K. Like, it's pretty noticeable color. It's subtle, but only in comparison because the blue is so jarring on stuff. The hand scene. So the colors are way more vibrant on the 4K for this. Let's get a good look at that. Okay, so it's way greener. They look more gray on the left here, which is the opposite of the last, you know, little clip I was looking at. But I don't think that this is pretty comparable. Again, it seems like the saturation is heavier on this one, but it's not so far off that it's like jarring. I don't think you would even really notice too much of a difference if you weren't looking at a side-by-side on some of this stuff like this. Yeah, again, like, I think I do like some of this heavier saturation on this. It makes it look a little neon and weird, but I kind of like that. Oh, Ludo. So let's look at Ludo's color here. And I gotta say, in this specific frame, it might be because this one's moving a little bit. Okay, yeah, that looks a little bit better. I was gonna say the left looked a little bit sharper, and maybe it does still. But, okay, I mean, they're not exactly synced up 100% because, honestly, there were some subtle differences in some of that. Like the transitions, I noticed that the Blu-ray had fades, whereas the 4K, some of them were like hard cuts. Like I don't know if they sped them up, what they did to do stuff like that, but very interesting. So let me see here, like that. It's a quicker cut on the blue. This is frame by frame here. So this is the one frame, the next frame, the next one. Very interesting. But this is where you can tell some of the grain difference on the right too, like these stones and stuff. Again, the color's not so far off that it's pissing me off or anything, you know what I mean? He looks good in orange. Again, now here's an example where the Blu-ray actually does look bluer, and the 4K looks warmer. So they must have gone through and had like certain vibes they were going through when they were doing the colors on this 4K. And we've switched back. So the Blu-ray is now warmer and the 4K is now cooler. It's very interesting. Some of the stuff is not as crazy as, you know, those blues with the owls. I might have to take another look at because, God, it looked crazy. But even this, I gotta say, like the contrast and stuff is looking better on the Blu-ray, but I don't know. You know, I went into this wanting to really be impressed by the 4K. As a physical media guy who's only recently started exploring 4K, I'm kind of like, we'll see. Gotta be picky with these things. But I'm also not here to tell you that the 4K looks bad, because I'm looking at this and it looks great. Those blue things are my biggest, I would say, issue with it. There's a couple spots that are grainy. I'm not going to complain about that. It's film grain and it's a 4K, you know. You're going to get some of that sometimes, and that's not a problem. It was noticeable, whereas on the Blu-ray it wasn't. Where's a good example of that? It's actually in some of this stuff. So, like, look at the stones, you know, up close if you can. I don't know if you can see that, but God, it's crazy. And we're back to here, you know, again, heavy blues, way cooler. I'm going to briefly skim through some of these again, just because, like, I really want to be on the side of the 4K, you know? I like upgrading things, but this is why I hold on to multiple releases, too. Physical media is important for reasons like this. Now, who knows what versions, if you were to find this streaming, what version it would be, too. God, it's so blue. Look at that. That's crazy. Alright, well, that has been a look at the Blu-ray disc and the 4K of the Labyrinth. Let me know what you think of these. I'm curious to see what other people are going to think of how these look side by side. What they think of the blue edition. If I'm crazy, or maybe I would put the Blu-ray in if I was going to watch this movie. I don't know. Well, that is going to conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these scans down below in the comments. Let me know which one you think actually looks better. And if you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.